I don't really know what I'm doing with this series yet. I keep wanting to plan everything out ahead of time, like, with down to the tiniest detail, and then I basically decided that that would not really be as interesting as if I just kind of played the game naturally and talk about stuff as I encounter it. So, I set a lot of this up already in the previous video, where I just kind of talked about, you know, the fact that the game got released and I had a hand in it and all that. If you haven't watched that, you should, but this is the first, like, actual LP part of it, so I'm gonna do a brand new file. I already forgot that I wanted to change it to not be nighttime. Let me just immediately do that, like it ain't no thing. Set it to like 10 a.m. Okay, should be good. Let me go in and out of the castle to see if that actually fixed it. We're already being professional. Welcome to the show. That's not what the message says. I should know this by now. I've seen the message like 8,000 goddamn times. Okay. So. Yeah, this is gonna be, like I said, kind of a weird one, because, you know, I've gone over this game extensively in my other series covering it, but in those I was figuring stuff out as I was going, and in this one I know almost everything ahead of time. You know, I'm not going to have it all necessarily committed to memory, but I generally know what's going to be going on. So, at least for the beginning here, I just want to do some of the basic stuff that you would do at the start of a playthrough, even though I've done this 50 billion times. I figure there's going to be some people watching this who have not seen any of my other stuff, and having a sense of, like, how the early progression is going to work wouldn't be a bad thing. So, that's kind of meant to be the first red star that you get. It doesn't have to be the first. There's, like, I think at least 2 others that you can also get first. In the last version of this, 0.9, there were a lot more red stars you could get as your first one, but it's been surprisingly streamlined now. I'm just grabbing this star because it's here. The star is not important in any way, but figured why not. Probably goes without saying, but this is absolutely not going to be a 100% playthrough. I'm gonna get all the reds, probably all the greens. Oh, okay, well I guess we're doing this. I wasn't planning on doing this one next, but it's here, so why not? So I already get to start talking about some stupid shit. So, God, what do I say about this level? So, just to, you know, reiterate this point, I've said this before, but I don't want people getting the wrong idea. My involvement in this game was relatively minimal. You know, I helped organizationally for the most part, and I did do some work in the actual editor, but it wasn't a lot. And all of the stuff with, like, how weird crap works, like, that sounds stupid, but I'm trying to, you know, like, this level has some weird mechanics going on. I could not explain how any of this shit works. And I don't think Chris could either. That was probably some of the older devs. But anyway, this level is split into 3 different maps. This one right here does not have any sort of timer in it or anything, and there's an object here that looks like a star, but is actually a coin and a teleporter. And when I grab this, it's going to take me to another map. And so this one starts with this timer here. And I have to pause the game here to explain something, because there's another version of this level, which I'll show later, that doesn't start with the timer immediately, and because of that, there's actually a bug in this version of the game that might just kind of be stuck there, because at this time, I don't think there's any plans to update the game again. There kind of were, but then they were sort of dropped again, and it's a whole thing. I don't... I've already probably said too much. But I believe at this time, this game is basically done. So, let me grab this star. This star is what it's supposed to be. But let me actually talk about this real quick, because I'm doing stuff out of order already. I want to explain how Star IDs work. I'll do that very soon. But let it suffice to say that this star was a headache to set up because it just worked differently than a lot of other stars, and at one point I changed the ID, but it apparently didn't work, and I just never tested it correctly, and then it just kind of went... It was broken for like a good 2 weeks before it got discovered again, and then we had to change a bunch of other shit. I wish I could tell you more about it, like tell you specifically what went wrong, but it's something to do with the timer and the level. It was throwing some stuff off. I don't know. But the fact that this one got changed late was an issue, as we'll see soon enough. So I guess let me go far out of my way to find the other version of this, then. Well, actually, there's a couple ways I can do it. There's one that, if the game wants to cooperate, will be quicker to see. Let's see how many attempts this takes. You might have to jump into this painting a good number of times here. So yeah, if you're... Okay, here we go. If you're watching this playthrough and have not seen anything of B33, you are incredibly confused already, and I cannot start from the basics. If I go into this, you know, talking about the multiple lobbies and the weird-ass, you know, random chance warps and everything... I can't go into all that again. Anyway, so this is actually a different map from the previous one. And this one, yeah, it's set up to have this timer that appears, like, at certain points in the level after you start running around a little bit. You can get it through the random chance in that particular painting. There's also one in floor 2B. Which is the really big one with the slow music. And this is supposed to be the same as the star that I just got, but it's not. It's this star here, and it shouldn't be. So let me go ahead and not collect that star, and explain a little bit more about that one. So... Boy, am I doing this... Like I said, I didn't want to cover this early on, but the game kind of forced my hand by giving me the option to do the stupid wf.z64 thing. Is the left half of this door still locked? Yes. I don't know why. It probably checks for some number of red stars and opens eventually. I don't know. Anyway, so... Let me go ahead and just get this real quick. So, here we have, you know, another Bowser fight. We just did one of these. There's like 9 of these. This game has so many Bowser fights. Alright, go ahead and cough it up. Oh my god. So, this one was actually my idea. When we were deciding on the red stars and, like, how they should be split up, you know, there's gonna be 13 of these. And there were basically, like, you know, 20, 25 areas that we kind of wanted to be reds and just, you know, didn't have enough to go around. So, for the most part, they just got thrown into boss fights. There's, like, 3 that aren't. And... there's some technical limitations behind some of that, too, and I'll get to that later. But, this one was actually my idea, to have this one specifically be a duplicate of the first Bowser fight. Because, you know, as you know, if you've seen 0.9, that game was riddled with duplicates. I figured there had to at least be a couple. And I figured this was a good place to have one. Because if you go in here, there's just another star in the box. And so this is the real one. It's like, you know, Bowser's trolling you. He's hiding the real star and makes you think that it's a duplicate. But this star is that particular slot there. Oh yeah, I forgot it took you to this page thing. Yeah, it's the X146. And unfortunately, that secondary version of the Womp's Fortress, you know, dark, spoopy thing, was a duplicate of that, and it wasn't meant to be, and it was because the thing didn't fucking work the first time. And then the ID got changed in one map, but not the other, because I forgot about it. And so, there have already been a few people playing this who have, run into issues with that because they thought that they got every red star, but were still missing one. And when looking at the list, they're like, well, I got the Womp's Fortress one, and it's like, no, you didn't actually, you got the wrong one. So that one was my fault. Also, here's a door that doesn't work. Or maybe it does. Maybe this door doesn't work if it's night. I know this door can crash. There's a couple crashes still in the game, unfortunately. So, you know, let's start with all the stupid shit, but... Nah, okay. Let me actually get into something that I wanted to talk about early on, you know, now that I'm 11 minutes in and have already discussed way more flaws with the game than I planned to originally. This is already a travesty of a video, but I'm just gonna roll with it. So, I'm going over here because I have set up a demonstration. My main role when helping with this game was setting up Star IDs, and I made some edits here. As you can see, these are not supposed to be here. This is just in my copy that I have right now. I put these stars here because I wanted to show something with how these work. So, with the Star ID system, I kind of had to learn it from scratch. I say from scratch, that's not true. I had some notes to go on. We're gonna just listen to this music for a while I talk. So, let me explain something about how objects in this game work in the editor. Every type of object, so, you know, enemies, stuff like trees that you can interact with, things you can collect like stars, sometimes invisible stuff like the warp point that you drop in on here, boxes, anything like that. These are all objects that have various parameters set to them. We refer to them as B params. I think the B stands for behavior. Every object has 4 B params, and depending on what the object is, changing these to different numbers cause it to work in different ways. And with stars, the most important thing is the Star ID, which is stored in B param 1. So, basically, every star in the game, I just kind of had to set a different one of these two. And, you know, theoretically, that should just mean that as long as I track them all and set a different number to each one, then that should be it. Except it isn't really. There's a little more to it than that. So, I've set up all these stars here with different numbers in the B params so that I can demonstrate something. So, this first one is set to 0. And you want to be looking at the star display on the left to show what these come out to. So, this one's set to a 0, and it's coming out as the very first star for level 1. So, you know, you could say that kind of makes sense. This one is set to 8. You didn't miss anything. It does nothing. This is a fake star. So, as it turns out, numbers 8 through 15 are IDs that just don't work. So if you ever need a star that you can collect, and you don't want it to actually do anything, you just use that. I always set it to 8, but any of the other numbers in that range could also work. This star is set to 16. Did the same thing that 0 did. I'll get back to Y in a second. This one is 24. So that's the first star of level 2. So let me explain why. this level that I'm in right now, Goomba Hills, is Course 1, Map 7. Basically, in Vanilla Mario 64, the game is split into different, like, courses. Like, you have the 15 main levels, you've got the extra levels, you've got the parts of the castle, all that stuff. And then within each course, there's different maps. So, like, for Cool Cool Mountain, the main map is the outside, but then there's another map that's like the slide, and that's still part of Course 4. So because this game has 50 billion different maps in it, it's like you can have totally different unrelated levels that are all considered maps of one course, but they're all still that same course. So this is Course 1, but there's other stuff that's also Course 1. I have my spreadsheet here that I'm going to link in the description. So anything here, we've got 4th floor, we've got Crimson Hallway, Bowser's Castle, here's the level I'm in right now. You know, bunch of different stuff. All this is considered Course 1. And so the numbers from 0 to 7, when set as a star, like, you know, a star ID, the B3313 1, that is what is called a local ID. It'll give you star, 1 through 8, which is internally referred to as 0 through 7. It'll give you one of those for the level that you're currently in. And because I'm in level 1, the 0 ID gives me the first star for Course 1, because that's the course I'm in. And then we have the Troll Stars. And then this one I said was 16. And it's giving me star 1 for Course 1, because starting from 16, it just counts through the whole list from beginning to end. So we had, the 8 locals, the 8 fake ones, and then after that, starting with 16, we have here, then we have 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 is star number 2, or like Course 2, star 1. And it just kind of goes on in that fashion. So here I've got star number 136. That is after we get through all 15 of the main courses, we lead to the first Bowser level. It's the first star set to that. You couldn't see my mouse, but yeah, you can see that now. So yeah, like I said, it just kind of keeps counting upwards. In the same order that it's showing in the star display. So it goes up 1 through 15, the 3 Bowsers, the slide, which for some reason is not considered a secret course. I don't know why. The 3 cap courses, S1, which is the Wing Mario over the Rainbow stage, S2, which is the secret aquarium stage. I feel like those should be swapped, but that's just how they are. And then S3, which is, this is a real good one. This is the end screen with the picture of the cake. That is apparently its own course internally. So, this last one here is ID number 215, which is the last one from the vanilla stars, basically. Not actually vanilla, but, close enough. So that's 215. Here's 216 back here. It just keeps counting upwards, as you might expect. Now, you might be wondering, if you know anything about just programming or, old video games, you might wonder, how does this game have 450 stars when values like this generally only go up to 255? And that's a good question, because here's star number 250, or like star ID 255. That is, that's as high as it can count. If you put in a 256, it's not going to do anything. 55 is the cap. So, instead, what you have to do is, in B-Param 3, you set it to 1, and now this is basically telling the game, pick from a second list of IDs where you add 255 or 256 to the first, first B-Param. I'm probably explaining that terribly. But this one right here is 0 in the first slot and 1 in the third slot. And so it's the one after the previous. This is basically star number 256, but it's not referred to that internally. So for the last few here, this one I have set as, it's in the higher list, so it's the B param 3 is set to 1, but its ID is 56. This one is special because if you look at my star count... Oh wait, it's this one here, sorry. If you look at my star count, it doesn't go up, because the slots from 12.7 up through 14.3 don't work. These were the ones that were originally set aside for green stars, and just kind of didn't end up that way. There is a way to re-enable those. We were thinking of doing that, but it didn't happen. So, those stars are not anywhere in the game. You cannot ever find these, because we figured there was no point in giving the player a star that doesn't add to the total. It's just going to be annoying. Like, yeah, you can track it with the extra program, but it's stupid, so we didn't do that. This is a red star. It's just, ID 72 with the 1 in the 3rd slot. This one's notable because it is a red star, even though it appears yellow. Let me do something real quick here. I can turn off some of these stars that I've collected. Turn off all 3 of these, actually. Right now, the game thinks I have no red stars, so I can't long jump. My side flip sucks. Hello, Goomba Tower. But yeah, basically right now I'm without red stars, so I'm going to pick up this one, which is clearly yellow, but despite that, it's in a slot that the game considers to be red, so as far as the game is concerned, I got a red star. That's how those work. It's just the slots from 14.4 up to 15.8, all those are the reds. And then lastly, we have B param 3 set as 1, ID 215, which is that star all the way at the bottom. That's just the highest ID that works. 216 through 255 do not add to the total, so we didn't include those. 254 and 255, 254 and 255 are actually weird. I'll talk about those at some other point in the future. But anyway, there's your long, probably bad explanation on how the star IDs work. So, when I went through the game and set all of these, generally what I did was, for every course, I would just kind of look through the stars that were available. First of all, I had to go through every map and find all of the stars, write down their descriptions and everything. And then I would find ones that were in boxes first, because boxes are a little weird. I found out later that there is a way to set these differently, but I thought these were locked into being local IDs 0 through 5. So I always tried to set those first before I did other stuff. But I would do those, then I would set these other local IDs. So, like, let me actually go ahead and grab this one. So I have this listed, far corner of level, high plateau. Its B param is set to 1. It's the 2nd star in course 1. So let me go and grab that. That shouldn't be changed, despite the fact that I messed with this level a little bit. Pretty sure the only thing I did in here was add in those stars. Also, I hate this slope. When I was testing the star ID crap with Chris, like the first day that I was working on this, I did basically the same thing you just saw me do, where I placed a bunch of stars in this level, but I had to keep testing other stuff, and every time I tried to climb up that cliff, I always failed it. It was the dumbest shit. So this should be B param set to 1, so yeah, star number 2. There it is. But yeah, like I said, I basically just kind of went through all the stuff that was in the course. I set the local IDs for the ones that I could, 0 through 7, so I would get the 8 stars set to that particular course number. And then I would just kind of fill in the other stuff So, like, this one here, I couldn't tell you why I put it in this slot. I just did. Originally, I wanted to save the extended 1 through 5 for, like, green stars, because I wasn't sure how many of those we were going to put in. It didn't happen. We had way more stars in the game than I thought we did, and so it just kind of filled every single available slot, and then everything became a giant mess. But also, stuff got swapped around later on, so basically the stars in this game don't follow any observable pattern, is what you'll find if you look through this. Like, Moto's Factory, I was real clean about it. I did everything in order. Some of these other levels you can see, I kind of had a certain approach that made a little bit of sense. And then you'll have... God, let me find one that's terrible. I mean, I think we already saw one that was a little terrible, but I'm just looking if there's anything else that stands out. This one, this star didn't even exist when the game got first released. It swapped with something else, so this level just gives you two completely different things. Like, why the hell is a thing in Course 8 giving you a star for Vanilla Course 10? Like, it's not a local ID. It's just... whatever. Anyway, that was a lot of nothing. Oh, and actually, no, we're not even done with the nothing. Give me a minute. Alright, I have changed an 8 to a 32. What does this mean? You'll know soon enough. Yeah, Mario Wonderland. Oh, hey, look at me. I don't want to actually go anywhere properly. I'm gonna warp. Oh, hey, look, these are all red now. So, this is, this part is less important than the last part, but I feel like this is worth mentioning just to help explain a little bit about how this game works. The red stars, as I explained before, don't even have to appear red. The game only cares about what IDs they have. So, when you have... good job. When you have the stars like this that appear to be red, it's basically just a coat of paint. There is an object in every level called an AI object that determines a bunch of crap, such as how the HUD looks, like whether it's locked into day or night, that type of stuff. And the fourth B param for that, basically, it can do a few different things, but one of the things it can do is change the colors of all stars in the level. And it does have to be all of them. There is no object in the game that is just, this is a red star. The way it is set is it's literally you just put a star in the level, you set the AI object to have that number, and then there you go. And so, even though it isn't important what color the star is, for, like, mechanical reasons, we still wanted it to be consistent and make the red stars actually appear red. And because it's an all-or-nothing deal, there's several instances, such as a major one is Moto's Factory, which has a boss in it, and it would be great if that could be like a red star, but if we set this to be red, every other star in the level would also be red, so that wasn't an option, unless it was changed fundamentally and had the boss in in a separate map. So anytime you have a red star in the game, you'll see it's an area that is an isolated, like, either a boss arena or just, like, some little weird small level. I guess the exception being Checkered Madness, because that has the duplicate, but yeah. That is how that works. So, let's ignore that, because that doesn't really matter. I've done enough messing around here. Let me actually get some progress for once. I say as I reset the game, or fast travel repeatedly. Is this even the right level? No. Ignore me. Okay, yes, it's Lobby B. I couldn't remember. Figure I should probably get the caps. Oh, wait, I reset the game, didn't I? Ah, of course. Okay. Guess what we're doing. So yeah, that's how that works. If you, again, if you may recall from other videos I've done, I always forget that I can just fast travel into the castle. You can access Act 1 by sitting on the title screen for long enough, and Act 1 turns various things on that normally wouldn't exist, such as the metal cap in this level. There's another way to get this, but this is the more convenient one, so I figured why not. I will say right now there is no reason to not play the game in Act 1. There is nothing that is exclusive to being not in that, so it's usually best to just sit on the title screen. There's only a few places that make use of it. I think there's like, I don't know, maybe like 5 stars. But better to be safe than sorry. I know of at least one Easter egg that also only exists in Act 1. Can we get this to spawn the secondary level? Yes, okay. As far as I'm aware, these paintings are nothing too outrageous either, like the ones that lead to multiple things. When setting a warp, there's, similar to the way the stars work, one of the B params, just you put a number in it, and then there's another thing in the level data that tells what each number, like, sends you to, basically. There's another B param that you can put a second number in that the game just will use as the warp, like, a fifth of the time or something. I don't know exactly how that works, but yeah, that... Basically, places just have a chance of taking you somewhere else. It's not dependent on where you jump into the painting or anything like that. It's literally just completely random. Except for the, what the hell was I gonna say? The personalized painting. That thing is, I think it's like 5 different warps. Maybe only 3, I don't remember. It's a whole bunch of warps inside the painting, and depending on where you jump in, I think it can lead to different places. Anyway, here's another Bowser fight. So, this one's weird. Let me just do it first real quick. This was a pretty late addition. In the last version, this was just another Bowser in the Dark World copy, which, there were, like, 8 of. So you're gonna give me a red star, right? Nope. Also, are we seriously already getting purple coins everywhere? Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's just a normal yellow star. But it takes you somewhere unique. So, let me just go ahead and run through this area. I'll explain more of the design philosophy behind this one in a minute. But this place is called Minion's Prison. There is a cell back here, I believe. Yeah. So, none of them say anything, but we gotta find 5 Goombas that are in cells, and should get a star from that. I guess, while I'm doing this, I'll go ahead and explain it. So, I documented the hell out of the last version of this game. I tried to find everything kind of naturally, just playing through the game, checking every exit that I could find. I checked all the stars, tracked their IDs, just by seeing what they came up as in Star Manager, all that stuff. And then eventually, after I did all that, did it the long and tedious way, I discovered... Hold on, let me point something out here. This one, this one's solid on both sides. The other ones are not. Don't let yourself get trapped in this one. I pointed that out when I tested this level the first time, and Chris was like, "Nah, yeah, that's intentional." I'm like, "Okay, great." And it happened to me even though I knew it was going to happen. Good. But yeah, when I did all the testing for the last version, I did it all manually, no kind of shortcuts or anything, because I didn't really know that I could do that. And so, like, after the fact, I found out that you could use the Star Manager tool to just warp to different maps. And I'm like, okay, well shit, that would have been nice to know, 500 hours ago. But, once I found that out, I decided I would check every area ID and make sure that I had found everything. And, that version did have a few unused areas, which I showed in my, One More Thing video. But one of the things I found in there was the Bowser and the Fire Sea map, and interestingly enough, killing Bowser in that actually dropped a key, which, was weird because there were no keys anywhere else in the game, and doors couldn't even really check for them. Turns out that key was just a Star ID 255 with a B3313 set to 1. And, yeah, just 254 and 255 just are the Bowser keys. They didn't do anything, but it was there, and it was interesting. And so, when working on this version, this is really stupid, but I want to show this off also. When working on this version, that was still in the files, and I'm like, did you want to do anything with this? And Chris was like, what the fuck is this? I don't remember this being in the game. And he was like, astonished that I knew about this crap that he didn't know about. And he's like, what do you mean it drops a key? There's no keys in this game. I'm like, I don't know, but it does it. And so I was trying to think, like, what could we do with this? And the problem is we couldn't set anything in the game to actually use the key. But I had, like, kind of an idea anyway. It would be like a story thing, where it's like, you get the key, it doesn't actually do anything, but then, much like how earlier in this video I got a star and it took me to that place with, like, the ghost peaches, I'm like, what if you get the key and it takes you to a place with, like, a bunch of locked doors, and it's like a maze, like, the doors all lead to each other, but then one of them has a star behind it. And we kind of talked about that. I might actually show the conversation. It was kind of funny. And ended up not doing that, but he came up with that idea, which was, I got the idea of, like, doing something with this area in general, we can say was my idea, but the area itself was his. So why did I come in here? Because this is dumb as hell. So I'm gonna just jump in this pipe. This is what it's supposed to do. It takes you to the top of the tower. There's a star here. It floods the level. Here's what it does if you don't have any red stars. Oh, it's actually gonna work. Game, don't make me into a liar. Come on. Did this get fixed? This was the dumbest fucking thing. I wanted to see this not work. Alright, hold on. We're trying this again. I'm committed to see this not work. Because this was the dumbest fucking thing I'd ever seen in my life. Like... Okay, that's a slight exaggeration. There were some pretty dumb things I saw when working with this game. But this was definitely one of them. Okay, we're going into level with no red stars. When you have no red stars, a lot of warps just don't work correctly. And that's by design. This one just does some dumb shit, and I don't understand why. And the only reason I know this is because there's somebody who took it upon themselves to do a max % no red stars playthrough the day that it came out. They're known as Natalie on Chris's server. I don't know if they go by anything else somewhere else, but I thought that was pretty cool. I might actually try one of those at some point. Alright, are you going to do the dumb thing? Yes. Okay. So to recap, before, it warped you up to the top of that tower where the star is, if you have red stars. If you don't, it teleports you to this wing cap box, and it makes you invisible. I have no fucking idea why. I cannot even begin to fathom why it acts that way. But, it makes the star... Well, I was going to say it makes it impossible to get without red stars, because I thought you needed reds to get the wing cap, but then I think there was a workaround found for it. I don't really remember. Anyway, that was some dumb shit. What do we do next? I could just keep working on reds. I might as well do that. Let's, pop over here. Go outside, go back in, all that usual crap. Just a reminder, or, you know, if you didn't already know it, then here, I'll just outright say it. Whether you go in the left or right door, also best text box in the game right here, whether you go in the left or right door of the front of the castle does matter. It leads to 2 duplicate lobbies with 4 duplicate levels. And, they all have different stars in them. This one is the most important because it has the Bowser in the sub-level. Also, in this game you can just mash the hell out of A, and you just get infinite underwater speed. It's kind of hilarious. We'll find some other water level later to make better use of that, but yeah. So I've done this level about 50 billion times, but if we're getting all the reds, we gotta get it again, so... Hopefully not spaghetti the hell out of this. I have immediately spaghettied the hell out of this. As seen here. Jesus Christ. Oh! Yeah, coin. Okay. Coin. Bullet. Okay, can we not eat shit? I had to get good at this because, I had to play this one... Oh, no! Fuck you. I had to play this one in, one of my background footage things. Those videos are surprisingly annoying to make, when I'm just talking about game mechanics and I have to, like, you know, have something going on in the background, so I just kind of wander around in the game. Because I always have to balance, like, you know, I don't want to show anything too interesting, but I also don't want it to just be, you know, the same areas over and over again. Red coins in this level, by the way, one of the worst stars in the game. I think somebody said that on the server the other day, and I had to agree. I don't know what I would say is the #1 worst. It's definitely not this one, but this one's just kind of annoying. I'm gonna go in here and oh my god, it's another Bowser fight. Wow. I have such a random selection of stars now, I already don't even remember what half of these were. Also, I see Bowser has already gotten more difficult. That reminds me, I should go check something out now, before it's too late. So, this is a unique ID. The only ID that I think is completely messed up is that one that I showed earlier, the, like, WF.Z64 place. Where do I need to go for this again? I think I want to be in lobby... yeah, lobby C. And then... we're gonna go on an adventure here. Actually, I don't think this is a terribly long adventure. There's, like, fucking 12 levels in this painting. That might be a slight exaggeration, but... This is Bob-omb River. Then there's... This one leads to Inside the Summit and Dark Downtown, and then Dark Downtown leads to Ice Cold Warzone, and then Ice Cold Warzone leads to Limitless Lighthouse. That actually might be the last one. I thought there was another one in here, but there's a bunch of levels. Anyway, we're doing this one now because I kind of want to come back here later in the playthrough to show something else off. I'm hoping I didn't already botch this up. Also, can I get the bomb clip? Hey. Well, not if he's gonna do that. Yeah, bomb clip. Anyway. Shouldn't have to go too far in this place. This level should have 3 stars in it. There's the one behind that gate, there's one all the way at the top, and then there's one from a boss fight. I just kind of not bother with this. Yeah, it's looking like I'm bothering with this. There might have not been much bothering going on. I might have had to climb up more of the level than I remembered. I thought that this slide section was way earlier on. It's these moments where I'm like, shit, what do I talk about? Okay, let's see how bad you're gonna be. He's a little bit of a speedy speed boy. I've seen worse. So, yeah, this game has, like, difficulty scaling that, basically just, depending on how well you play the game, stuff gets harder. I don't know exactly how it works. I'm pretty sure it takes into consideration, like, how many red stars you have, how many regular stars you have, how often you die, like, probably how many lives you have, and, you know, the vanilla version of this boss is relatively slow and only takes 3 hits to kill, and here it's taking considerably more than that, and that is because of the difficulty scaling. That is not a modification actually on this boss, like, specifically. And I wish I knew a little bit better how it works, because I fought this guy once on a 100% complete file, and he was about what I'm doing now. Like, he was a little annoying, but not horrible. But somebody else sent me a video where this dude was, like, moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and there was no way to grab him. So, if you're playing this game and intending 100%, you kind of want to get this one out of the way early, in case that happens. Because, as we can see here, this is already kind of approaching rigmarole status. Like, what the hell is this? Why is it taking 20 hits? I would expect this from the Fly Guy boss, but I figured he would be better. God, that reminds me, I'm gonna have to fight the Fly Guy boss. I don't want to do that. Fly Guy boss sucks ass. Let's see, what other reds can I do that are boring? Now I can do some other ones that are a little less stupid. Let me go to Parallel Basement, which I could have stayed in Lobby D. I forgot. Plexel Basement, I don't know why I called it Parallel Basement. Plus I'll get to say hello to my favorite wall that I point out every time I play this game. And here it is. Hi, favorite wall. You are, buggy. So anyway, yeah, this one's, this is unchanged from, the last version. Still not really sure how anyone was meant to find this. Apparently some people did. I had to be told about it directly by the creator, but... yeah, I don't know. This was an early level that I messed with just to, make sure I understood how the AI object worked for setting red stars, because I think originally this was set as a red, and then I changed it back because we decided that it should only be boss fights, but then I changed it back to red again, and it wasn't a big deal, but it was a thing that existed. Let's go to 2B. Just do one of the other bosses while I'm thinking about it, I guess. Oh, hey, Sunset Castle. Nice explosion. Nice other explosion. So, you know how there's the nighttime version of the outside? Which is mostly the same, but it has, like, a couple small differences. It's like you can't get to Eel Graveyard, and the wing cap box isn't there. Here's another variant. This one is just, reached via random chance. And, it doesn't do anything, I think. Yeah, empty box. I kind of wanted that box to be a green star. I think I brought that up, and Chris was like, nah, this place is... He kind of wanted this place to remain useless. I mean, fair enough, I guess. Is Daniel here? Yep, there it is. White pixel. I can now, I can say with confidence, I have looked in the editor. There is no fucking white pixel here. There is no object placed in this location. In fact, I'm gonna show it. Give me a second. I need to show this. Alright, looking at the map inside the editor. I guess, you know, while I'm here, just get a bird's eye view of the place. Why not? Kinda neat. But anyway, here's the entrance. Here is, you know... it's this black square here. Hold on. Yeah, it should be, like, right there. There is fucking nothing there. There's no object. It would show up as, you know, something inside a red box if it was. What the hell is creating this white pixel? Apparently, they've tried, like, re-importing the map and, like, you know, all sorts of shit, and it keeps coming back. I have no idea why it's there. So, I've mentioned before, this white pixel has been nicknamed Daniel, and it's just kind of, you know, it's a frickin' squatter. You know, it moved itself in, and it's not leaving. So, I guess you just kind of have to embrace it as, like, a pet. No idea. Anyway, that was a little bit of me getting sidetracked. But as I, run through 50 million versions of the same, you know, couple lobbies, I question why. Okay, does this crash? Yes? What the fuck? Okay, I heard people saying that jumping up near the peach, like, painting or window up there crashes the game. I had never seen it for myself, but yeah, it does. Wish I could tell you why. You know what else I wish I could tell you about? Is this area here. Mario's Maze. We've got, yeah, it's one of the spoop areas. We've got the Mario's the home in on you. That Goomba isn't supposed to be here. That's the difficulty scaling, just adding enemies. Why the hell do these guys, you know, ascend? They weren't supposed to do that. And at one point in development, they just started doing it, and we don't really know why. So, that's fun, I guess. I can't get that star because I want to continue this way. Again, I don't know, like, fucking anything about how this game works, so I can't answer these questions, but... it's just weird shit that constantly keeps popping up. Alright, I've heard some tales of this level crashing. I'm curious what'll happen when I play it. Because, yeah, sure enough, what the fuck? Oh my god. This was not a problem before. Getting the red coin star here might be an issue. I wasn't planning on doing it right now. Actually, I can't. I don't have wing cap. So what the hell is triggering that? Is it... I've heard people say that it might be the like, yellow box. There's definitely something over there the game doesn't like. And it's not this one over here, right? Because if it should be anything in the level, it should be this. But no, apparently this is fine. This fucking box. Let me give myself a wing cap real quick. So, they should all be active now. So yeah, this is... Okay, it doesn't give you a metal cap anymore. Let me let the timer run out on this. Oh, does it actually respawn? That's new. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this place. So, the day before this game got released, I was doing some last-minute sweeps of areas, and... Yep, there's the crash again. Turn my wing cap back off. I don't want to completely cheat here. God, I gotta see if I have a video of this somewhere. If not, I might have to... Okay, I have wing cap turned off. I don't know how I got that. I guess it's still activated somehow. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Anyway, yeah, the day before the game got released, we were doing a sweep of areas to make sure that they were working properly. This place did work. It didn't have that random crash in the middle of the stage. However, that box did some weird shit. At one point, it spawned a Goomba. At one point, it turned the health bar into a dark green square. And also, it would, like, disappear after you opened it once, but it would still be there. It would just be invisible, so you could, like, jump up to where it used to be and break a box and get the cat back out. I thought that it still did that. I didn't realize that actually got fixed. I was willing to accept that that was just, you know, gonna be left in as stupid-ass, you know, beta behavior. But, no, apparently we traded that for just something that crashes the game when you get near it, which is real fun. People have already 100%ed this, so I'm assuming there's a way to bypass that crashing thing, but it sucks that you have to worry about it. That's, making me want to actually take a look at Idyllic Islands, now that I think about it. I think, or Dire Bubble it got renamed to. I know people said that that place crashed too. While I'm in the neighborhood, let me take a look at Wiggler's Forest Fortress, just because I think the music here is interesting. I don't remember if this was the music it had in the last version. That's the only reason I'm here. I just wanted to hear the music. That part always reminds me of Field of Hopes and Dreams, where it's like down 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 down. Got a similar progression to it. Yeah. I like these weird squashed wiggler models that only have 2 segments. Alright, is there anything in 2B that I care about while I'm here? There's like a couple things. I guess I'll just kind of sweep the area and probably call this a video soon, because it's already hit an hour. Half of it was taken up with weird technical explanations, and half of it was me pointing out unintended behavior and crashes. I swear this game doesn't actually have that many. I'm just kind of covering them all while I'm thinking about it. This is at Jord Castle, right? Which is what I refer to, Dark Lobby. Yeah. Let me see if I remember what this leads to. Okay, yeah. This is the fake one, right? No? Hold on. Is that just regular challenge lobby? I thought this was... Maybe that's a nighttime thing? Or maybe it's a random chance? I'm curious now. Because I thought this led to the dark version of Challenge Lobby, which is just a weird duplicate map that doesn't really do much. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, hiccups. But... yeah. What else is in this place that I care about? There is... well, there's one thing I can show, which is not terribly impressive. And I don't think there's any other, like, level entrances back here other than the one I'm thinking of. This probably leads somewhere that I care about that I didn't think of until just now. Or, like, I thought of and then I just immediately fucking forgot, but I don't know. Anyway, this is the alternate entrance to the version of this with the wrong Star ID. So, you know, this was an explanation that took an hour to complete, but, yeah, for the correct Star ID, you want to do the one from the front door of the castle. Which way do I want to go? Not this way. This leads... I don't fucking remember. This is the one that leads to the star, which I don't need, but I'll get it anyway because I'm here. That was a dead end. There's like a, yeah, awkward 180 here. I always get confused with that part. This is still one of my favorite maps in the game, just because it's incredibly off-putting. This used to be a red star. It isn't anymore. I said that I would go show Dire Bubble. I should probably go do that. I'll get Wing Cap next time. How do I get to Dire Bubble? That's, yeah, hold on, I need to go to Lobby C. Go up here. Yeah. Can Nice job missing the pipe. So I only want to look at this level to see if it, Oh, yeah, here's the other thing I wanted to show. There's a couple places in this game that had these pointless little underwater branched paths. And they just kind of didn't do anything in the last version of the game, but now they do. Now they take you to a flooded version of the basement. And that's it. There's nothing in here. There's no way out. I was half expecting that thing to, you know, attack me, but... No, this is just a drown house. I'm double checking everything. I think if there was anything in here, I would know about it, but perhaps this is an escape? No, it's not. Yeah, that's a drown house. Okay, ignoring that, is this... Yes, okay, terrible. Does anything in this level crash? I think this might have been fixed in the Day 2 hotfix. Because I remember there was... It was brought to my attention that there was a... You fucking serious? This did not crash for me when I tested this earlier. What the fuck is this? Like... This sounds really stupid because I'm, like, you know, I'm testing it to make sure it works, even though I was pretty confident it did. There was a 4chan thread where somebody was saying that, like, this level has a star that's impossible to get because there's one that is, like, underneath that grating. You need the vanish cap to get it. And the vanish cap is over here, which apparently is a location that crashes the game. And somebody actually, they quoted me on saying, like, that I added some weird, obscure shit to this game, and, like, that there's some truth to that, but they're like, oh yeah, there's, like, everything should be tested to be like possible. I'm sure there's some way to get that without the vanish cap. No, you need the vanish cap. What the fuck is this? I want to mention here, I have never actually seen this crash before. I tested this like a couple days ago and this worked. So there is something that is fucking that up, and I have no clue what it is. Apparently it's still doable, but you have to have save states. Now I'm curious. I want to go there in my completed file and see what this does. Don't mind the star tracker, it's not doing the right thing. And actually, hold on. Let me change the clock back, just in case that matters. Or, nah, we'll test it both ways. This is the type of thing that I have no reason to make you watch, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because I'm curious. So, we're testing this on a complete file, and it's still daytime. However, it's file D. I don't know if that would make a difference. If it does, then that's incredibly stupid. Alright, save stating. Come on, game. Don't do the crash. Hey, look at me! Game's not crashing. Okay. What the fuck? Okay, so it's not a day-night thing. I'm going back to the other place. Let me just warp there. Let me find... What is that place? It's, Goom Boss Battle 5-3. Is this place gonna crash? No. Okay. Is it the stupid crate? Were you the cause? Why did that whistle at me? The fuck is this? I don't even remember these crates being in the level. Oh my god. Yeah, I have no idea. So, what have we learned from this video? You know, I taught some stuff about Star IDs and some other weird mechanics. I taught that there was an unintentional duplicate, which was my fault. I forgot to change both versions of that level. One of them got changed from 69 to 77, but not the other. And also there's some crashes that really suck, but don't always happen. And I wish I had even the slightest idea why that was the case. I still gotta find that footage of this box not working. Anyway, I guess that's it for this video. This was very disjointed. Next time, probably more of the same. Alright, I found a version of the game that has the thing. This is the build from January 31st. I was slightly wrong. It wasn't the one before the game got released. It was the one from before Simple Flips played it. So here we go. Goomba. Green square. It's just kind of there. Living its best life. I don't remember if it fucks off after you leave the level. I'm curious to find out now. Grab this star and see what it does. Okay, well, it immediately vanished. What if I take damage again? Nah, it's back to normal. Okay, so it's a green square for the remainder of the level. And, like I said, the fun doesn't end there, because the box never comes back, or does it? It's there, it's just invisible. What the hell is this? It got fixed, but it was hilarious. Because this was one of the final, final things we found. It was like, you know, I was making sure all the Star IDs were correct, and I'm just, you know, testing a handful of areas. I'm like, I feel like this box was a little glitchy before. Let's see what it's doing now. It wasn't doing this shit, but I'm glad I tested it again, because it had some problems. Now if only I knew why the levels randomly crashed. But yeah.